Alright guys, I gotta check this out. In relation to the post I had on YouTube a few days ago, I was talking about the $2,000 and all this. So I ran into a problem, and I should have caught it before, but I didn't. So the idea was to have $20,000. I mean $2,000 right here, and then it gets added to 906. And then we did the calculation of always subtracting this at all times. So that would bring this to 0. And then I would do that at the beginning of next month, and then I'll have that amount available to me. The problem with doing it like this is, well, here, before I confuse people, let's say actually, I removed this 300. The rest is fine. So it has 473 left over. But the problem is, I won't have that. Because what's happening is, I'm removing this to make this 0. But it has to come out of here to get over there. So this part actually disappears. Well, actually, the whole thing would disappear. Well, that's not entirely true because I still have a few left over. It would be 994 minus that minus 959. See, now you're starting to see the problem here. So if we remove this, it's only $35. So I just moved the $2,000 that was over here earlier and moved it to my available money. So what ends up happening is I lose $200. And it has to come out of the money I have left over this month for next month because it's already gone. The 959 is not there, and I still got to pay it off. So now I was like, where's these negative numbers coming from? Because the agreement is always to have this paid off at the beginning of every month. But I'm only making $906 left over after paying the minimums. So you see, there was a eating its own tail, if you will, as they say. So how you would handle this is you would move this back to 12,000, keep this like it is, keep that, and then we get 2,106. That's fine. No problem. So we would have, after this two things are paid off right here, have 632 left. So what I want to do next is I want to reduce $300, which comes out of this. Now I could do this, and it gives me $36 left over, which I don't really like. Well, actually, it wouldn't be that. It would be, well, what would this be? I think it's 75.83, 521. I mean, I could, But I'm trying to... I don't think that would be very smart. I would rather do the 300, which would reduce this to 1,157. So now, what I would have over next month is when you drag this back up here, you would get this number down here, 1,239.57. Oops. Yeah, right here. So that carries over. But because these two things are paid off, we can go to, okay, 1,246. What I would do next is I would go, I want to pay this off. So I'd have 279 left over from doing that. Let me do something. That's not bad. Okay, let me move 167, not 62. Okay, we got okay, this would be paid off. And I have 961 left over next month. However, I would have to add $400 to this. This would be cleared, but I'd have to add $400 to it for 1 month, which would actually be, well, it would be 500. It would be including groceries, I would say, let's say 650. This would be paid off, but I could do one extra month, and then I subtract I'm doing that because I'm trying to decide if I want to make another purchase or not. Like right now, I'm about to make a really big purchase. I could do it. And I have to do it anyways. If I don't do it now, then it's going to go up much in price. I'm about to show you what that is. I could do it. Now, here's what I do. This would be the bare minimum. If I wasn't using this method, I'd have $388 left over. As you can see, when we move all this stuff over, that don't even cover anything. And for the second month, same thing. I mean, you pay that off in full, but then you might be able to pay off the chair, but still, you're scrounging for a few dollars. And that's the bare minimum. That's not including groceries. Like, you could do, like, you have to pay for, like, if you did want to pay off for, like, a small portion of those cards, let's say even $200. I mean, you're not getting anywhere with that. So the point is to always have at least $400 in one of the, at least $500 in these accounts available. I know I keep saying 400, I mean 500. It's this number right here. So, yeah. I mean, I probably might do $200 on that. I mean, it's better than nothing. And I'm still getting ahead by a long shot. I am. I don't want to remove this unless I can completely remove it, or else I'm still losing $76 per month. Alright, so let me show you what I'm about to buy. I want to buy a new TV. It's a long story. I wanted to buy a new monitor. Two new monitors, but I wanted my main monitor to be like I wanted it to be OLED for the new GTA 6 that's coming out, which I already pre-ordered, by the way. I got the ultimate version. I think it's $107, something like that. So I paid for that, and they're gonna charge me that in November, which is fine. And that's coming out of this card. So, and I don't spend that. That's not my main card. That's like for when I'm buying on Amazon or something. But so the reason I got a monitor, and I would never get a TV. So the monitor doesn't come with it doesn't come with speakers, and I didn't want to fill my desk with speakers, and because I'm going for a minimalistic setup on my desk. So I thought, well, actually, it wasn't my idea. It was actually ChatGPT. I was talking to ChatGPT, and I was like, well, if the monitor doesn't come with, it was actually kind of overkill because it could push frame rates that are beyond my Xbox can do, and I'm not a PC gamer. So I was like, what would you recommend, ChatGPT? And it said it recommended a TV. Now, I don't usually do TV. I don't like TVs because I find monitors better, They got the better screen quality and all that. So if I'm going to get a TV, it better be high quality definition like OLED, for example. But those are expensive. And the monitor I was looking at was, I think it was $789. So I was like, well, and that's for a 32 inch. I was like, well, maybe I should get a TV, but what size TV should I get? And I was like, maybe 40 inches would be too small. And then when I was looking at OLEDs, and I was thinking about 55 inch, now you're going $2,000 TV. And right now they're on sale. So I was like, and I was thinking about, okay, how is this going to look like in my room? If it's in my room and I'm laying on my gaming chair and I'll be facing upwards at an angle, 45 sounds too small. So I thought 55 inch. I thought, well, maybe for that room, 55 inch would be too small. So then I was thinking, should I get the 65 inch? So I've been on the fence about that. Now the 65 inch, there's like a $200 difference because they're on sale right now. And I was thinking, for the one ChatGPT recommended the C6 LG. And I was looking at them, and I was like, okay, that looks nice, but would it fit in my room? Because we don't have, this family, they don't have a 65 inch available. Like I think we got a 55 inch, and I think we got a 77 inch, but we don't have a 65 inch. So I didn't have anything to really compare it to. I know that we got, I think 65 inch, well, we do have a 65 inch in storage, but I don't have that available to me right now. So I kind of had to eyeball it with, well, that's 5 feet. If I'm sitting 5 feet away, I think that's a perfect size for me. So I was like, am I really going to put up the payments? Because that's almost $200 payments. But if it was regular price, which is $900 off, I was like, oh man, that's a good price for that 65 inch OLED. But I don't know if I can cough up $109 a month. I'd be stressed out for a while. But I was like, it would have to come out of my firm. And that would be, I think, well, I would have to do That's the, I think, so the real price is that. Hang on. It's $2,699. But I can get it for $2,664 if I go for the minimum payments. Now, this system will catch it up. But regular price would be $2,000. It would be roughly about $2,900 if I got it at full price. So I was like, I could get $199 it's a $665 in interest. But that's no problem to me. I was like, man, I'll be upset if I can't get that TV. I don't know, guys. I think I should do it. Because because I still need to buy an air purifier and everything. And I want to purify the room, which is going to cost me like $268 for an air purifier. So I can add that to this. I wouldn't add it to that. I would add it to that. No, I could do that, $2,260, but that would require me to pay $190 a month. I could do it, but I just think I should put off the interest stuff later, pay less now. It's because it's going in that brand new bedroom, and I want the setups already. I don't know when that's going to be done, maybe by September, October. So it has to fit in there, and by the time I get all that money, it's going to be $3,000 before I can even afford the tea. So I got to do a lot of. I think it's a good price that it is now. I mean, that's still cheaper than buying it full price. And then we get that 1,000. I mean, like I said, a lot of this. Because even if we added it to here, because I won't have the minimum payments, I still have that 75. Sorry guys, pay attention to what I'm doing on the screen and not what I'm saying. If I'm messing up the numbers, I apologize. We're doing this kind of last minute. So if we do 190, well, actually, I can get it down to 111. That's 794, which, even for next month, isn't bad. I can handle that. And then that comes up here. 115.57. Yeah, I'm still looking at almost $2,000 still. Might as well call that $2,000 right there. And I still have 230. And this stuff would be paid off. I mean, I could do it. This would, of course, be paid off. 949. Still have 440 left after that. That was a bad move. But you can eyeball this. And then I put 428 on it, then 122. Yeah, that pretty much covers that. Yeah, so I don't see why it can't be done. I could do it. I think I am going to do it. But yeah, if I was looking at this and I did this, No, that's reckless right there. That's trying to fake something. Yeah, that'd be $276, and you got $6,000 in debt. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I definitely I could do that. I'm gonna do that right after I end this video. I'm gonna do that. Mm-hmm. Yep. I could even do that, and I still have money left over. 10, 50. I don't know. I'll do the 200. Give me that extra. Well, actually, no. I'm looking at that wrong. I'm looking at that number. Wait. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Uh, let's do subtract that. $55. Let's see what 55 looks like. 55.62. Not bad. I would definitely go for that. I mean, eventually it will be paid off. We don't have to rush. I would definitely go for that. For that 200. Do the 200. Keep that available next month. Wait, hang on here. Is that right? Oh wait, I'm doing that wrong. It would be 321.40. Hang on, let me do my math again. Okay, those two would be paid off. That would 155. Now that's already accounting for the 112. But yeah, this is nothing. This is really nothing. It's still paying off the debts. Now, okay, that would be paid off. We need to subtract 400 from, let's say 500. 449. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm going to do it. Because I have the money. I mean, I do. It's not like I'm stressing out over anything like that. $321. Let me put $321.40. I mean, my numbers might be changing here, but you get the underlying concept. Yeah, 155 with all my stuff paid down is better than taking this and trying to put like 155 on that, and yeah, and I'll be left with like $20 or $30 probably each month. I hate living like that. 155. Then that goes back up here. see, that would be paid off already. So then you could do that. But then I eventually have to find a way to get around this. And I could just take out another $800 and just put it head first on this. I could do that. I could also just pay this out straight. I could do that too. And then it would boost my thing up to 70. Boost it up. Now I get 870. And then okay, that would be paid. This would be a lot better if it was like a simulation. So at that point, this would be paid. Yeah, I would have to definitely fit another $400 in there somewhere, but I could do it. Like, this isn't something you set and forget. You got to actually go in the spreadsheet and keep updating as things change. But yeah, totally could do that. As soon as I get my money tomorrow, and I pay this, because these two are gonna get paid down tomorrow in full. Paying down 2 cards in full at that level, they're almost max. Well, this one's not so max, but this one almost is. Being able to do that, that's an accomplishment. That's an achievement. And having 321 left over, why not? Why not? I mean, I might come back in here and say, well, let's just remove $100. Maybe not even mess with it. I don't know. I would have to put at least 47 on behind that for the minimum. But I mean, it's not bad. I could definitely do it. I think I will. Because I have no sales right now. Let me see if I can show you. That's weird. Okay, so we're gonna go to Amazon. That would be the 65-inch. Here it is. Let me show you guys on the screen. Safari. So here it is. Yeah, I was saying about really getting a 55-inch. 48 seemed too small for me. 42-inch seems too small because it's gonna hang on my wall, and I'm gonna have it on a mount. So yeah, I think that's a very good price for this TV. I could afford it. And I have it paid off in like 3 months later. If I only wanted to. Yep. I'm gonna go for it, guys. I'm gonna go for it. better than paying that $3,000 on it. I mean, I'm getting it like over $1,000 off, and when you include taxes. So, of course, there is that $600 interest that I talked about before, but you know, that's no big deal to me because it's still cheaper than paying it full price, right? Even at MSRP, it's cheaper. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I hope that helped you, and I hope I was more clear about the spreadsheet. So I'll end it here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.